Square Enix's highly anticipated sequel to the beloved Final Fantasy VII Remake, officially titled Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, has fans and newcomers alike buzzing with excitement. The new title aims to take everything that made the first game successful and improve upon it, with the devs discussing this in a recent PlayStation blog post saying, "We are delving deeper into the lore of Final Fantasy VII, exploring sections of the game world that were only briefly touched upon in the original game. What's new, you ask? Well, let's start with the gameplay and the combat system. According to co-director Naoki Hamaguchi, the game will feature a new synergy moves mechanic that is introduced into the combat system. Players can activate special synergy commands and abilities using up a gauge charge, similar to the limit breaks in the previous installment. So through the battles, players will feel the relationships and bonds that have developed between the characters even more so than in the previous games. This shift in dynamics promises to make the game's combat more engaging than ever. Skill trees and new materia have also had an overhaul, with Hamaguchi saying, "We've also added skill trees as a new element of character growth. Unlocking synergy abilities via these trees not only enhances your character, but also adds another layer of strategy to the game. And yes, there will be new materia with abilities not seen in the first game. Personally, I think the way that they handled materia in the first remake was excellent, so I'm excited to see new features."
Avalanche ain't Muta or anybody.
Let's talk about Red 13. In a recent interview with PlayStation blog, Hamaguchi was especially keen to discuss this fiery character, saying Red 13 doesn't have an ATB gauge, but also uses his own unique revenge gauge mechanic. This gauge charges when he guards against enemy attacks, giving him a playstyle distinct from the other characters in the party. And for those wondering, Red 13 will be a fully playable character, contrasting his limited role in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And it doesn't just stop there. There are accompanying members in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth who will officially become party members in the next title. And yes, before you ask, it does look like Sephiroth will be a playable character at some point in the game. From what I could see, there's also a new take on the summons. In the interview, it confirmed that not only will there be returning favourites like Alexander and Odin, but we can also expect new summons with extended side content. This expansion means the lineup of summons will be fleshed out over and above the previous game, according to Hamaguchi. Once players leave Midgar, the game shifts its focus to exploration-based gameplay. The team follows Sephiroth through a much larger world map, featuring different areas designed to reflect the rich diversity of the game's universe. This time, there are even chocobos unique to each region that possess special abilities, adding a whole new dimension to that exploration element. We put a lot of emphasis on exploration-focused game design with this title, as we wanted to create that feeling of going on a journey while traveling around the world in pursuit of evidence of Sephiroth's movements, Hamaguchi reveals. The Gold Saucer will also make a return, boasting an array of minigames that surpass even the original in terms of scope. As players progress through the main story, they unlock new minigames and harder difficulty modes at the amusement park. It seems the developers are keen to ensure that there's never a dull moment in this game. It's not just the minigames either, and the parts of the Gold Saucer seen in the main story have also been fully remade and upgraded too. For the hardcore fans, yes, the much anticipated date scene at the Ferris wheel is included, plus you will be able to control Sephiroth in the same scene as you did in the original. This is a huge nod to fans of the original game, offering something fans were very worried about. The journey in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will extend up to the Forgotten Capital, where the greatest fate of Final Fantasy VII awaits you. So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is shaping up to be a sequel that honours its roots while pushing the boundaries of what a modern RPG can achieve. From revamped combat systems and expanded gameplay mechanics to rich character development and stunning visuals, this title seems set to redefine how we experience the Final Fantasy universe. But if you're looking for another RPG to tide you over while you're waiting, why not check out this video where we show you the best armor that you can pick up in Starfield.